Hey everyone, welcome to Pelican Podcast, and this is your host Hooreen Farooqi. I'm very enthusiastic on having you here. So today's episode, we're going to be talking all about financial freedom, with along with our guest, which is here for a very good reason. Her name is Marwa Munawwar. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hello everyone, I'm Marwa Munawwar. I'm a student at PF Chapter and I am also an entrepreneur and an employee.
It's very interesting. So tell us a little bit about your background and your history with financial independence.
Alright, so currently I have been doing quite a few jobs. So I have been studying and then I'm a brand ambassador for a company in Paris, a jewelry company called Ibrahim. And then I have been marketing for two companies. One is a plastic products company and then one is a leather manufacturer e-commerce business. Then I also own a blog. So I am also like an art student, so I do have an art blog, plus I kind of add like lifestyle to it too. So that's like everything that I have.
That's so interesting. So Marwa, what's e-commerce and what's marketing? How is that done?
E-commerce is basically when you're buying or selling through online websites. So as for the leather products, I said it's an international firm, like basically selling leather products from Pakistan to different companies like Germany, Russia, USA, like those. And then if we look at the plastic products one, it's more like manufacturing of plastic products, and as I said, I market for them. So it's basically promoting them, like the company that I do it for. It makes plastic products for National Foods, Shangri-La, and then also it's like a sideline supplier for Junaid Jamshed, the hangers, Junaid Jamshed, and also other.
That's so interesting. So how do you do all of this marketing, and how did you get into this?
Alright, so how did I get into this? I'll start off by my father first. He owns a plastic company too. So I started working over there. I started doing going through the marketing techniques there, and over there I basically met through a lot of people. I made contacts over there, since that was like one of my main aims.
So you've been into it since childhood?
Yes.
Oh, that's wow.
Not exactly childhood. I'd say 14 years, when I was 14 years.
Right, so you've gotten the exposure.
Yes. So I basically started really less then, but then I started full-time working towards my career at school 3 years ago. So it's the brand ambassador, the marketing for everything. It was more 3 years ago.
So how did you get interested in this? Was this something was this your passion or your beliefs? Or was this just something you stumbled upon accidentally and liked it?
Alright, so for, I said the leather products one. So that was I want to be a fashion designer, and fashion is something that I had a craze since childhood.
Fashion designer.
Yes, I wanted to be a fashion designer really bad. So that's how I stumbled upon the leather company. But as for the marketing part, I started marketing for different events at school and other events that I had. And then I find marketing so nice and just challenging, and how I started learning towards it, and it just attracted me so much that then I got to know about the other companies, and then I started working under them. So that's how I stumbled upon it. And as for how I got into there, it was through my father's company. I got there, I made contacts. Yes.
Right.
So he used to go on meetings and I used to visit with him. So I started making contacts over there.
So that's where your passion began?
Yes. That's where
You just liked it. You just liked the environment. You thought it was the best thing for you?
Yes, it was, because I always came up with different ideas, since I think we are younger generation. Our age comes up with obviously with changing generation, trends change. Even if you look at marketing right now and 5 years back, literally 5 years, it's not that long. It has changed so much, it has changed so drastically. And I think as being younger, I see and I cope up with those changes, and I can input them into promoting the companies.
Wow. You talked about fashion designing, right?
Yes.
So, as well as me, I was also interested in fashion designing and arts. So I'm even more intrigued to find out about how you are doing and how you're going about. So marketing. what's marketing? Like, what do you do? Do you just post stuff on social media, or what's the process?
So basically, marketing involves like a lot of things. So I like in a company that I work in, the plastics one, we have a whole major market department. So over there, what task we undertake is like, for example, if we are going through a new product is launching, a new plastic product is launching. So we go towards that and we market it like you could maybe on the TV. Since like TV isn't really suitable for it, we gotta look for like a perfect media, which could be maybe websites that we go through. So I do handle websites and then come up with like new strategies. Like marketing also involves contacting companies and just like attracting them. So that's how like a lot of the partnerships, the new partnership with Shangri-La and Shan were made through the marketing process that we had, which was just attracting, making our product, just the plastic jars seem really invitable and just like really nice, that these are the best things that there are in the market.
Right.
Even though we have like a huge competition in the plastic market, but that's how you do marketing, just make your product seem on the top, just high-end, the best product that they have.
So you're basically just gathering people for the company that you're working for, right?
Yes, coming up, like marketing could be even done by one person. Like for the leather products one, I'm the sole person who's just doing them and marketing for it, like going for the listing. Like listing involves basically coming up with new trends in fashion in leather. Like we have French coats that are really in right now. The long coats that we have.
Yeah.
Yeah, those. So those are really in right now. So I go through them and just look at the trends which I see people or celebrities wearing, and then we make those and we market them, list them, take attractive pictures for them.
What's e-commerce?
E-commerce, like I said, it's buying and selling through the online businesses, but e-commerce involves like a lot of things. It could be promoting, it could be buying or selling, it could be like we have the virtual world like in which everything's being digitalized. Like even with the future generation, like moving forward, we see like the cryptocurrency right now, which is like a digital one. So everything's moving towards like digital, social media, online. Even like our education, if we see it, it's more like on Zoom, it's on online.
So Marva, you mentioned about being a brand ambassador for a jewelry company.
Yeah.
So how do you enter into this?
Alright, so I did not really expect that, but it was an offer given to me. So I own an art page, since I told you I'm an art student. So not accidentally, they messaged me over there that we would like to work with you if you be a brand ambassador. So it was more like I work for them to get them sales. So it's more like I promote them through my page.
Through your blog?
Which is, yes, because obviously like we go through jewelries and everything. Like if we go through a blog, we obviously need to look top notch, our hands and everything. So it's like really involves good jewelry, because sometimes when I'm doing artwork, people are just looking at my hands. So it comes with the jewelry part. So that's how like majorly they contacted me, because their main aim was to sell about their rings.
Right.
That's like their major product that they're doing. So they contacted me through my page and just kind of offered me to do what.
So you concluded like your marketing expertise helped you becoming a successful artist, right?
Yes. Not really an artist. Artist is like something that I was interested in since I was a kid.
Right. Your marketing expertise really enhanced your career opportunities.
Yes, because I think marketing is important in every business that you do.
Exactly.
Because it involves everything, the product, the placement, like we study in business, the 4 P's that we have: product, price, placement, promotion, that everything that comes with marketing.
So, how did social media help you gain the exposure for the clothing brand that you're working right now?
Alright, so I'm also launching my new brand. I'm working on it. So I think social media, when I started my own blog, I came up with like new ideas about how I could promote it. So basically, I think the main market that I would go for would be Instagram if I go for Pakistan. Because over there, like even if we see our generation, we do online order a lot of things, right? So that is like really helpful for that. Moreover, I think social media and building my own brand played a major role because you don't need to own a shop, which costs like even if I go and open my shop, I don't know where to sell my product. But now I can sit at home, sell my product online, just working on my laptop, giving a few hours a day, and just building my own dream.
So it really does not take away from your studies at all. It's just a side thing that you're doing. Or would you like, or do you think like you're more interested in pursuing this in the future?
Alright, so as you mentioned studies, I think a lot of students that what they think is, alright, we need to focus on studies right now, we cannot do a lot of the side things. I think that is, even if I'm a student, like I have a lot of spare time. Like when I was a full-time student, I used to study 2 hours a day and rest was free. Going to school, it was just like the daily same routine. But I think if people incorporate a lot of the e-commerce activities in their lives, selling, buying stuff and everything, just making their career from the start, like I built it from started building it from O levels, but since we are in A levels right now, people can start right now. It's never too late to start working towards your dream.
Exactly. But you'd suggest people to just start and just pursue their dreams, right?
Exactly.
Pursue
Not
their
just
goals.
like start it, you need to research the market really well. Of what do you think your expertise is? Like for me, I focus like when I started working at my dad's company, it was more like I got to know my expertise. I got to know like, oh, I'm good at marketing. I can market really well, and then my art is like really good too. So I thought like these are my expertise. What can I do with these expertise? So then I started looking for opportunities, searching everything up, and that's how like I built everything. Just when a student, basically one of the main things that a business is fail is because the owner doesn't know his expertise. So I think you really need to know yourself, what you can do, what you can offer to the people. That's
So knowing yourself and knowing what you have to offer and just being, just having this goal in your mind, okay, what you need to do is something that you would advise to the students.
yes. Know your where you're strong at. Start. Like that's what the thing. Just start right now. There's nothing in your 20s. If you really want to lead your life right now, do the work right now. You're young. When you're older, like when you go into your 40s, later 40s actually, you could retire, travel the world around. You'll have enough. You have lived enough. You just need to now enjoy your life.
Okay. You talked about fashion designing, right?
Yeah.
So imagine like I'm interested in fashion designing. Therefore, how would you recommend that beginners interested in fashion designing should go about this in this field?
Alright, so first thing I think you could do is when I was like a child, I had a major thing for dress up games. Like I used to go in my room and I
Exactly, me too.
This is like so fun.
It is.
So go ahead, take out like any clothing item that you do not like and you think that doesn't look good on me and make it look good. Design it with like other things, like you could take out jewelry pieces. You could use like even like I used to use scarves as a belt and make them look good. So that's like how it started, and then later on I started evolving them, then bringing up with new patterns, new designs that I like, scrolling through the Pinterest mainly, and looking at what trends are and bringing my own touch into them and bringing them together, like designing everything on Photoshop. It could be like if you are good at sketching, sketch that. That is like what you majorly need to do, and then yes, and then you could ask your tailor maybe to stitch that for you.
Right. So this is just like the basics and what the beginners can
Exactly,
do.
the basics, and then you could maybe like when you start doing these things, opportunities come your way. People look at you because I think as I'm a fashion designer, I think my dressing needs to be top notch. So everyone, even in school, are like, oh, Marva could be never ill dressed or anything. That's how I think to like start doing it on yourself, experimenting on yourself.
Right. So you're pursuing a lot of things which may seem like hard to do nowadays, but it's not really that hard, like you think. you can manage time for your studies and you can manage time for all
I
of this.
think when I started everything, it was more like I had no time to sleep. I was sleeping literally 2 to 3 hours a day, and that lasted for I guess 3 to 4 months, and then slowly I started getting back into routine.
So in the beginning, it was hard.
Exactly. It was really hard. Even like now, if something unexpected comes up and I haven't planned my day accordingly, then it gets very chaotic. I need to stay up all night, work. and
Because
just
what
live.
you're doing right now is like there's so much things going on, as well as being 18 and in your A2 and starting your own clothing brand and doing all of these things which would lead to financial independence as well. It may seem like a lot for people, but as you just said, okay, it was hard at the beginning, right? It wasn't always easy. Do you think?
It still isn't easy because management does get a bit of like trouble, but you gotta manage yourself
Time
because
management.
obviously exactly I need to give time to my studies as well as to my career and myself, because I think a lot of people what they do is they stop giving time to themselves and they lose their self, which means they get no motivation for anything. So I think start slowly. Like I picked up everything together, which I think I could have gone a bit slower, but I think now I have started doing everything and just living my life to the fullest.
Wow, that's very inspiring, Marva. What advice would you like to give to students who are to pursue their goals and dreams,
Like I said, they
who are
should.
interested in all of these?
Yes. I think research up on your skills, research up on the market, work on yourself. Like
Research.
that's like the first thing. That when I started, I was honestly a very disorganized person. I had nothing in mind. So when I started, I was like, first I need to make myself better. So that's like, it took me like 2 to 3 months where I got everything in shape, like everything going together, that my life, my family isn't being compromised, my work life isn't being compromised, my study isn't being compromised. Plus I'm having time for myself. Because I think being in a Pakistani family and even like a Muslim, it's like very important to give time to your family, just respect them, give them time, still with them. It like gives a really good refreshment to yourself as well.
So it's basically like work life and then your social life. All it just has to be balanced, and you'd like to tell the students that time management is key, as
Time
well as
management
your
is-
research.
Yes, your research, your relationship with others, you need to have a great communication skills, because I think without communication skills, this world could be harsh for you.
Thank you so much, Marva, for being in this little podcast of ours. I hope the students learned something about financial freedom and financial independence. Until next time, Allah
Goodbye.
Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.